It's been so long. In Adrienette Fanfiction, Part 27. Alia was very surprised, and in the best way possible. Normally Lila only came back once in a blue moon, but here she was. She was back again in the matter of days. They told me that they thought I was just being overworked and that I should be a regular teenager and hang out with my friends. I told them I really wanted to help, but they were so firm, and so here I am, Lila explained as Alia squealed and wrapped her into a big hug. It was always such great fun when Lila came back home. She had the most adventurous stories to tell, and there were times where Alia was living vicariously through her friend. "Oh, you're back," Marinette said in a bitter tone. Alia sent her a harsh warning look. She loved Marinette, truly, but that girl could just be so ruthlessly judgy to Lila. Lila had done nothing to Marinette. How could Marinette, one sweet, caring, and lovely girl, be so mean to Lila, another equally darling girl? Alia genuinely had no idea why, and it was okay not to like someone, but constantly picking fights with them? That was where the line was drawn. And, well, Marinette couldn't stop crossing it. She couldn't stop screaming liar at every turn, and, it really got old. Lila would try and be nice, but Marinette never accepted it. Alia was rather sick of her friend's antics. "Yes, the humanitarian company I work with let me offer a few more days to hang out with my friends. I've been working so really hard at bringing some good into the world, and they want to reward me," Lila explained sweetly, as always being civil with Marinette even when she was acting rude. I didn't know good was synonymous with lies," Marinette scoffed. Alia rolled her eyes. Marinette could never just let it go, could she? "Marinette," Alia reprimanded. She sent the black-haired girl a harsh warning look. Marinette groaned loudly and rolled her eyes. "She's not working with some humanitarian company. I mean, what company would want to hire a child?" Marinette said loudly. Alia looked to her side to see Lila with a deflated expression. The curly-haired girl placed a hand on Lila's shoulder in means of comfort. "They didn't intend to hire me. My parents worked with them, and when I was younger, I just wanted to join them to bring some good into the world. So I just kept tagging along, and they decided to bring me in since I worked with them anyways," Lila explained. Marinette crossed her arms hotly. Sure, totally. Those definitely aren't straight-up lies," Marinette seethed. Alia was nearly going to rip her own hair out. Marinette she was being so rude. "Would you quit it?" Alia finally snapped at Marinette. She'd been putting up with her ridiculousness for quite some time now, and she was done. "Me?" Marinette asked incredulously, as if she didn't realize what she was doing. "Yes, you're always yelling at Lila for no reason. She says one thing, and all you can do is scream and shout about how she's a liar. You don't need to worship the ground she walks on, but staying quiet and just nodding along works too." Alia threw her arms up in aspiration. Judging by your expression, Marinette still didn't get it. "So what? I'm just supposed to sit back and let her walk around telling lies? What does that say about my morality, huh?" The black-haired girl shot back. "Okay, let's just take out the whole you thinking she's lying every second of the day thing. Let's just forget about that. This is so freaking annoying. Every time that she comes, you get all mad, and then Akuma comes, and no one has fun with her. We never see Lila. You don't need to like her, But you end up screaming at her and make us. We're all way too tired to actually hang out with her. And I doubt Lila likes coming back home from a long trip just to get yelled at by you, of all people. Can you not hold your tongue for even a second? Ollie almost snarled the last sentence. Marinette flickered her eyes to Lila and narrowed them. I don't want to be anywhere near her, Marinette said harshly. Alia let out a humorless laugh and threw up her arms. Great! Then don't walk up to her like you've been doing, or, stop screaming like crazy. Alia snapped back. She and Marinette glared at each other, both girls determined and angry. Though they were close friends, who rarely fought, when they did, it was bad. Clearly. Guys, please stop fighting! We're all friends here, Lila said, putting a waving hand in front of their field of vision. Marinette sharply laughed. Yeah, I don't want to be friends with you, she said. Lila looked rather sad, causing Alia to grab Lila by the shoulders and begin to walk away. You can come talk to us when you get a grip and learn some manners or how to be civil, Alia said with a shooting look back at Marinette. Marinette's expression was pure shock, eyes wide and mouth open. Alia sighed tiredly. She did not want to deal with this today. All she wanted was for her friends to finally get along, and Marinette just refused that. Hey, let's go out for something, take a little break and get off the premises, Lila said kindly. Alia nodded, and together they began to walk towards the nearby strip mall. Ugh, I'm gonna lose it with her, or I guess I did, Alia said. Lila smiled sympathetically at her. She always felt bad about being the cause of her and Marinette's fight. Why don't we talk about something else? Lila offered. Alia nodded at the idea. Yeah, that would be nice. The strip mall wasn't far, luckily, as she wasn't wearing walking shoes, and decidedly, they got ice cream and sat down at one of the outdoor benches to eat. And I swear, it was some of the most stressful 13 hours of my life. I was so exhausted by the end, but I had to keep going. There was no way I was gonna let that poor little baby peacock die, Lila said as Alia listened intently. Alia never thought a person could do so much at such a young age, but Lila was living proof that the idea was false. At the moment, Lila was telling her about how one of her trips had ended with her taking care of a peacock who had nearly been frozen. And he survived? Alia asked, leaning into the story. She was a reporter after all. Getting into stories and picking them apart was her thing. But, sometimes Lila's adventures were just too good to actually dissect. In short, they made Alia believe in humanity again. Yes, thank God. Only barely, though, Lila said with a smile. Alia nodded and took another bite of her ice cream. Like a flash, an idea burst into Alia's mind. And if she did say so herself, it was a darn good idea. Girl, I think I just came up with the best new blog post ever, Alia said, suddenly cutting Lila off mid-sentence. The brunette in front of her raised her brows up high. And what is it? She asked. Alia pointed to her purposefully. You! I write about our superheroes, right? Well, I should write about our everyday superheroes, so people can feel like they could also make a huge difference like you, Alia exclaimed. Her brain was already coming up with grand sentences that could inspire people to do good. After Lila, Alia could write about Marinette. As ridiculous as she was being at the moment, the black-haired girl was a good person deep down in her heart, and of course was still her best friend. Everyone had their flaws. And, as Adrienne had said before, she really was their everyday ladybug. Really? Lila asked with a grin. Alia nodded animatedly. You know, I might even turn it into a series. Everyday superheroes. Just imagine it. Her hands made an invisible arch. The idea? It was really exciting her. Out of her knapsack, Alia dug out her notebook and a pencil and poised the latter in a writing position. So, I'm gonna need you to tell me all about your favorite adventures and I'll take notes. Are you good with that? Alia said earnestly. Lila smiled widely and took a bite of her ice cream. Definitely. Now, if there's one thing Alia could know about what she had learned, well, okay, the first thing was that, Lila was so unreal, but she kind of already knew that. But here's the thing that she learned. That girl could talk. Yet another reason as to why she reminded her so heavily of Marinette. Both of them could probably overflow the world with words. And I was just so shocked. Alia nodded slowly. The first couple of trips she remembered Alia nodded slowly and jotted down some notes. The brunette was telling her about the first couple of trips she remembered taking and how she had felt. It was strange for her to even fathom Lila not going off and helping the world, but apparently it was only her 5th year of doing so. And it's sad I have to miss so much school, but sometimes that's the cost, Lila said, looking sad. Alia nodded, but quite honestly, she disagreed. She'd love to just work on her blog and travel the world and, not school. And then again, she'd never see her friends, and that would be really sad. Lila really did pay a price to go do and help people around the world. Alia felt a buzz come from her phone and took it out to see a text from her sister. Oh, darn, she was supposed to be home 10 minutes ago. Sorry, I gotta go home, Alia said with a tired smile. The twins were slowly but surely getting more and more excited and, soccer had yet to start for them, so they had way too much energy. But thanks for the impromptu interview and, getting ice cream with me. We should definitely do this again before you head off, Alia said, and Lila nodded in agreement. Totally. Just don't forget you can call me if you have any more questions, Lila said, hugging her and then waving goodbye. Back at home and at her desk, Alia pulled up a document and began to transfer her notes into paragraph form. There were a lot of them and stories, so the post may be cut into pieces. Stretching out and cracking her back, Alia got ready to type for what was possibly going to be hours. Normal superheroes. Ladybug and Chat Noir are not the only heroes of Paris. Living in Paris the past couple of years has been vastly different from times before, with the newly minted Akumas that have come and took a lot of time to get used to, and the looming threat of a supervillain whose name we don't know. It all felt like living in a warped dream. Luckily, with all of this bad came two very prominently good forces, our beloved Ladybug and Chat Noir, who fight the Akumas and keep the city safe every day and night. Truly, they are heroes and we celebrate them as such. With magical powers and boost strength, the title of unattainable heroes may come to mind. However, that could not be farther from the truth. The words flew from her brain to the page. As per usual, the page and paragraphs filled up the screen, and before long, she could get started on her next post. The one where she could actually show the world that one didn't need powers to be a hero. Normal superheroes. The hero with no powers. You too can be a hero. At first, that sentence may seem like a hyperbole. How could a regular, powerless human make a difference and fight evil? Well, there are many ways and many people who put their lives in the line of fire to save people. Firefighters on the daily run into burning buildings as an example. But even young kids can help make a better world world, and no one is a better example of changing the world at a drastically young age than one Lila Rossi. Lila Rossi is a 15-year-old who has devoted her life to helping people around the world, but yet is still schooling and finding time for personal friends. In her short time of going on humanitarian trips, she has done more than one could think was even possible. From saving superstars stuck in a dangerous industry to taking care of endangered species, Lila has proved that you are never too young to make a difference. From a young age, she has worked with companies like Alia paused. How could this slight but very important problem never occur to her when interviewing Lila? Never once did she ask Lila what companies her and her parents had worked with. Alia cursed herself. What kind of reporter forgot an important detail such as that? Picking up her phone, Alia dialed Lila's number. It rang once, twice, thrice, 4 times before Lila's voice chirped hello. Hey girl, okay, so I kind of realized that I don't have any pictures of anything you did or, any names. Oh, yeah, so, what were some of the names of the K-pop stars that you saved and, from what companies? Well, I can't actually give that out, legally, that is. Okay, well, I guess that makes sense. What about the animals that you've saved? Do you have any pictures? Oh, okay, well, I'll have to text my parents for the pictures. I don't have any on me. That's fine. What about the trips to Africa to build houses? I don't have those either. I'm really sorry. I totally have to have my parents when they get back. That's all good. There's probably some online. What's the company? I'm sure they have a website displaying their work, or at least there's an article. My company's a bit different. We don't have a real big online presence, so I haven't even gotten their social media handle. It's subdued. We're not doing this for the glory, so we don't post any pictures online. No, yeah, I get that, but what's the company's name? I work with a lot of different ones. That's fine. Any one company works. Well, okay. I just work with so many, I can't even think of one right now. You know that feeling. It's so annoying. Okay. One of them is, it's called, oh, okay. I'm so sorry. I have to go. I'm getting a call from my mom, and I have to take it. I'm sorry, I don't have any pictures. I'll see you soon, hopefully. Bye. Bye? Alia blinked at her phone. That call was, very unhelpful. Lila seemed, she seemed rushed. Couldn't she have just told her the name of the company quickly? Most company names weren't an entire sentence. Alia scrunched up her face in confusion. Lila was normally very, very calm, but she seemed so nervous on the call. Alia pulled up a new tab on her computer. Searching up the name Lila Rossi, she expected there to be more posts or articles about her, but nothing. None about her parents, who admittedly she didn't even know the name of Lila's parents. There's nothing about Lila's trips. There was nothing, none, zero, zilch. Only her social media handles that Alia already knew and had seen because, they were friends. Another search. Freed K-pop stars. Nothing. Alia searched up keywords pertaining to Lila's stories, but yet they all came up blank. Not even a single blog post. Apparently, Alia was going to be the first to write about Lila. Pushing herself back, Alia sighed. Nothing was coming up, and it was safe to say that was quite weird and suspicious. Brown eyes flickered to the picture framed on her desk. The one with Marinette. and Alia laughing hard right as Nino and Adrian were in the background, screaming over a stuffed animal. Marinette had always and irrationally shouted Lila's stories had no basis, but she always denied that. But now Alia was starting to backtrack. No articles, no pictures, no company names, no stories, no proof, no name of parents that helped on the trip. There was nothing. Alia looked up at her room ceiling. You know, perhaps Marinette had been right all along. Perhaps Lila had been lying the whole time. It was still a maybe. But, you know, despite the maybe, the unsure maybe, it seemed like an entire new mystery that had been opened up. And Alia was determined to figure it out. How much of what Lila was telling her was the truth? And how much was, as Marinette had so artfully put it, not?